Hello again, everybody.
Hello, everyone.
On this rainy, unpleasant day, we need to walk to Riften. We're already most of the way there on this, 3-episode journey across Skyrim. I've complained several times about how far apart all the locations in Dawnguard are. Not so bad if you're doing fast travel, I guess. That's a Spriggan Grove I see up ahead there. I talked before about how I should never ever actually fight Spriggans. There's never any point to doing so, and they're quite dangerous. But if I'm ever going to fight one to show why... Oh, troll. This is the time for it. So, now that I'm a vampire, I'm impervious to the most dangerous attack. I think I still have some Islesware fondue in effect. So.
Now, what is their most dangerous attack?
Well, they have this... Oh, the troll's running after some random animal. They have a dangerous ranged poison attack. That's very high damage over time. The other thing, of course, is that there are very few sources of poison resistance in the game, other than being a vampire, which gives you 85%. The other thing to watch out for is they always have vast numbers of animal friends down there. Even harmless animals become weapons in their hands. And these are probably not harmless ones, let's see. That's a bear. It's running after something. Where's the other one? They're all running, but they're not after me. Weird. Can I get a shot at whatever they're fighting over there? I really can't see a thing. Oh, there's one. Can I put that there? So their weapons are now my weapons. They should start fighting each other. This is the most efficient way to go about fighting a Spriggan. So, that green thing on them means they've been activated by the Spriggan to become the Spriggan's buddies. So he's doing a ranged poison attack on them now. Let me do a couple of things here. First of all, I think I want to get all of them in an area illusion spell so they're all crazy. Fighting each other. No, not me. Yeah, it's attacking me at range, but I absorbed it. Oh, it's still going after me, huh? Something else is over there. Look at this. So, I'll use this to thin the herd here. Reduce the numbers of the sloth of bears. What is over here? I feel like I should... Okay, just a wolf. I should take care of this so it doesn't gnaw me on the back. Alright, problem solved. So these bears and the Spriggan should help take each other out. I'm going to renew that frenzy fairly soon. The Spriggan will easily beat any of these animals individually. I think both bears should drop fairly soon. The other thing about Spriggans, though, is that they have a very, very powerful self-heal spell they can do. They can do it even while they're being stunned or sometimes ragdolled by Fushiroda. I've seen them do it despite that. The one good thing about them, though, is that they're quite vulnerable to fire.
They are made of wood, after all.
But wood doesn't actually burn all that easily. That's why it's good for campfire material. Human flesh is certainly more vulnerable to fire than a tree is. But in any case, do your range attack on me. Give me mana. It restores so much magic, it's amazing. Really not gonna do it, huh? Look, I'm an easy range target. Hit me. Fuck. Okay, so... Any second now. There we go. You can see just huge amounts of mana restored. Even running away for it. There we go. So, when they get to low HP, they'll do their self-heal. It's about 40% of their maximum HP, sometimes a little bit more, and they're almost invincible while they're doing it. Merely stunning them doesn't stop them from casting it either, at least not consistently. I've seen them cast it through stuns and even through ragdolls from time to time. Not always, though, so it might be some kind of bug. Really not sure. Don't fight too many Spriggans. Yep, not what I can do that. Thought I had boost equipped. I wish it. Make the range attack again, why don't you? Thank you! Wow, so much magic. They can't do it infinitely, so they're healed at it. Great. So, taken care of. Now we get their garbage reward that makes them never ever worth fighting. Sometimes they drop Spriggan Sap, 2 or instead, it's worth about the same amount. Killed some poor hunter. This is a skill book for archery, I think. Quite an interesting story, actually, but I can't read it because it's an archery skill book and I don't want to be leveling that skill. It tells the story of the first ever exploration of Tamriel, and recounts the existence of this epic poem in Tamriel, which you never actually get to see, about that first expedition. Some guy named Topal the Navigator, after whom I think Topal Bay was named. So he came from the Somerset Isles, or the original Elven homeland perhaps, and explored Tamriel for them. He found it full of beastmen, apparently. Several species of whom were apparently massacred by the Khajiit, such as the bird people who apparently used to inhabit Cyrodiil.
Oh.
Well, random hunter's camp right next to a Spriggan there. These people can rest much easier now. Well, I'm approaching civilization, so I probably should take off my creepy mask. And in fact, while I'm out here and away from any onlookers, let me just change it to my nice town clothes. Maybe my haggling necklace too. That should be good. Now, the last time I came to Riffin, I was slipping out to avoid having murder rightly attributed to me. We'll see if they caught on. This is a totally unimportant farm here. There's like a side quest you can pick up to return his bow from the Ratway to him, but I'm not going to do that because there's no purpose to it, and I don't feel like helping a Dark Elf. Speaking of which, an inordinate percentage of the farms in Skyrim are owned by Dark Elves. It's like probably more than are owned by Nords for some reason.
Hard-working people.
Apparently. So. Looks like the guards aren't attacking, so I got away with murder. How nice. All those, arbitrary scripted Thieves Guild encounters should be done with, so I don't have to deal with those conversations anymore. Mehrunes Dagon. Responsible for the plot of like half the games in this series. Well, my true goal, of course, is to rescue Esbern, and I am quite concerned about him. Now, the Thalmor were approaching him very slowly before, didn't seem to see need to rush the job. But one of two things would happen now that they've attacked them and stolen their research. Number one, they could be slowed down further if everybody who knew anything about it got killed. But if somebody left alive, such as Elenwen, knew a lot about the investigation too, that might make them speed up their timetable to get here before I do. So it could go either way, and Hjalt is quite concerned. But he also wants to avoid attracting attention, so he'll pretend he's here for an ordinary stay in town, get a room at the inn. I won't ask where the guy is, because it's very obvious to be on the Ratway. Everybody should know that. It's like the place everybody hides out in town. Which makes it a terrible, stupid place to hide out, but nonetheless, that's where he will clearly be. Ooh. Mind if I do? Having infinite wealth lets me really live the high life here. Having murdered the assassins sent after me before, it lets me get away with robbing them, too. I'll continue to do that every time I stop in town to punish them for sending people after me for stealing a 2 gold item. That should do it. To add insult to injury, I will go over there to the cooking pot and I will cook illegal substances with their stolen cheese in the cooking pot. Well, Moonsugar is back to being the limiting reagent, as it should be. I haven't seen a Khajiit caravan in a very long time. And to keep the pretense that I'm just here for ordinary business, I'll probably go buy and sell some things in the market, too. Sorry for the donation to this beggar.
Oh, thank you. Take my advice. Stay at the Bee and Barb. The bunkhouse isn't for you.
Yeah, I don't really get her attitude about that. She's just kind of a jerk for no reason. The bunkhouse is like her inn and also like part-time brothel type thing. But like,
I've got on display.
I have no idea why she wouldn't want like another guest. There's no explanation. Okay, so he never sells anything worthwhile. Sure enough, nothing worthwhile. But this town has an abundance of general goods merchants. It's a good time to offload all kinds of stuff. I've read this book already. I won't be reading that one. I should read that one at some point. Certainly won't be giving just these things away. I do want to spread the word that I'm a vampire slayer, perhaps. He seems the kind of person to be talking around town, so let's sell this vampire stuff, and let's also sell some vampire dust, and some vampire armor while I talk just about what a great vampire slayer I am, and very definitely not a vampire.
Keep your eyes to the road.
The old told me that it isn't this bad.
Relka here is also a general goods merchant, despite selling only armor. Or mostly armor. Let's see. No, that's too weak. Too weak. Drat. Nothing useful. Alright, well, what can I sell to you? How about you take these daggers, and I can get this from anybody. I'll sell the Thalmor specific stuff as my last stop, I think, so that word doesn't get around too fast. I want people to know that I'm killing Thalmor, but I don't want the Thalmor to know just yet. Until I'm about ready to skip town, I think. When you're recharging... No, that's too useful. Sell some minor things, perhaps. Stamina's worthless to me. Whatever.
Come back when you're ready to.
This guy over here, as I mentioned, is a exclusive jewelry merchant, so
here.
doesn't really sell anything useful most of the time, but it is a good place to dispose of some of your own excess jewelry. Let's see. Yep, whatever.
Safe travels, Landstrider.
Brynjolf will also tell me the old man is down the route, but not until I do his horrible quest for him and like frame an innocent man for thievery and put him in jail. So, no.
Come to see Balliman
Oh,
perform
he's inside, so I
miracles
won't do
with
any more
steel,
smith
eh?
selling. That's unfortunate. I guess it's after his hours. Never seen the inside of his house before. Well, maybe I'll head over to the last general goods merchant in town here.
Welcome to trinkets, odds and ends.
Do you have
that
anything
sort of
useful?
thing.
It's got a wooden sword.
I think you can give this to your children in Hearthfire, but I don't know much about that.
Yep.
Somewhat tempting, but no. Alright, nothing good.
Do you have children? Did I miss something?
No. So, I could... Yeah, he seems like a good person to sell the Thalmor clothes to. He's popular around town and talks to a lot of people, so he'll spread the word that I've been killing them, but I won't have to sell them out in the open marketplace where everybody can see immediately that I've been killing them. That would bring any Thalmor spies down upon me immediately. Well, it would in a somewhat more sensible game anyway. That'll do. Still more carrying capacity than they want to be. A lot of us need Eider cheese wheels. If only I had a way to steal those, but he's kind of... He and his wife are both watching, so no good. Well, one more errand to take care of, and then I will go down to the... Oh, you're a suspicious person, aren't you? You haven't been here before.
If you know what's good for you.
Real subtle.
Scully, if you know what's good.
Doesn't make any sense at any point. I'll talk about more about that later on. So, I'll head over to the Temple of Mara
Looking to stay alive? Why take a chance?
and advance the Mara questline. A couple of episodes ago, I did part 2 of that quest in Markarth. That was, in fact, like half the reason I went to Markarth that time. So I can turn in stage 2 of the quest and pick up stage 3, the final one.
What is it you seek, my child? The goddess smiles at your efforts, child. The dawn shines bright upon you. You have seen the young, fickle love of youth and helped a more seasoned love.
I mean, like, one guy was like 200 years old, so that's pretty seasoned. No, the other person was probably like 30 at most.
For you to explore. For a strong love can withstand storms and even survive death. Take this symbol of Mara. She will guide
So you get an
to the
amulet of Mara
wandering
here, which
souls
besides
of
being
truth,
like a
whose love was so
mediocre but not
great that
horrible
their
amulet giving you
entwinement
restoration cost
binds
reduction,
them to this
also lets you marry
world.
people. To marry somebody, just put on the amulet and talk to people who like you, and some of them are eligible to marry.
Must bear its light.
This has several benefits, but it wouldn't really make sense in the character if you also just marry some random person. So,
All are welcome at the Temple of Mara.
Marcurio over at the inn in town here is a very good person to marry, actually.
Now, why are some better than others?
Well, the only people who are really worth considering for game mechanics purposes are people who can become followers. Because then you can take your spouse with you and get all their spouse benefits anytime.
The Thieves Guild used to run this.
He's a good follower, because he is a mage, which is useful in a follower, and he has sneak. He's the only mage that has sneak, I believe, which is very useful so they don't give you away if you're doing that kind of character. That creepy Khajiit is just kind of watching me. I'll hit up the apothecary here, sell a few things.
I'm kind of busy. You here for less? So.
Ingen is a
interested
Blackbriar.
in
She wants to
my
become like a
potions and
crazy murderer
ingredients?
lady, I guess. She's studying creating poisons down here. Charming, like all the Blackbriars. That should do alright. Got anything useful? Whoa! I've never seen an alchemist sell this stuff before. Sweet. You have got yourself a deal, man. Well, if you're selling illegal substances, I can get in on that too. Have some, Don't I have red butter skooma here somewhere? Is it a potion? Bless you.
Thank you.
Have some drugs.
Now, what does the red water skooma do again?
Basically the same thing as regular skooma. I think it might restore a little bit more stamina.
Oh, okay.
Nothing significant. Well, I'll just sell you the potions that I don't need. I don't need any kind of poison, certainly not that. I guess I can keep that around, it is worthwhile. That's never useful. Stamina's not useful to me. These things are expensive, I run out of money. Whatever, just sell that.
Yes.
Well, I
yes,
still have more stuff than
goodbye.
I'd like to have, but way down from like 200 pounds ago last episode, despite picking up a lot of new treasure in the meantime. So, now to go pick up Esbern, who will clearly be somewhere down on the Ratway. It's just a matter of searching for him in this dingy, stinky old place.
Yes.
Oh, she's one of the
Keep
people
your
who runs
belly
in.
full and your shoulders strong.
Okay.
Looking to stay alive? Why take a chance?
Buying.
So, down in the Ratway. Let me muffle myself just in case there's any Thalmor down here. Any spies if there's like that. Very up to no good Khajiit. All Khajiit are up to no good, of course, but that one more than others. Here's a conversation. So, Hjalti is still dressed in his fine clothes, although this is not a good place for it.
I don't know, Droff. They'd skin us alive if they knew we were doing this.
I'm not going to attack these people because I have no reason to believe they'd be my enemies. I mean, why would they be? They're just two random people sitting down in a sewer. Why would they attack me? I do like that line.
We'd have a house as big as the Blackbriars by now.
You worry about bashing people's heads in. I'll worry about the guild, okay?
Okay.
I'm going to check the entrance to the Ratway. Be right back.
Hi guys. Oh, and apparently they're going to murder me for no reason. So I knew that, of course, but there's no reason Hjalti would think that, and there's no reason for them to do it. So, you get a fury, now you guys can kill each other. No important side passages here. Yeah. This Nord is the toughest one, usually. I think of these things as being insubstantial. Apparently an arrow can stick into one. Several arrows. Well, let me duck over here for a moment. And in this uncomfortable spot, change clothes. If they're going to kill me, I'm going to, just put on my mask and kill them first. Don my Wretched Mage's robes. If there are Thalmor down here, they'll be likely using lightning magic, so that's the kind of boots that I want. Probably this thing too. And yeah, the rest should be good. So, full combat here, basically. Killed my advocate. Oh, you're going for each other. Nice. Oh, no, you don't. Should hopefully get up and fight each other. Pull up my staff. Pull out my ring of recharging. That's better. I want to make it come out about even if I can. Probably an advantage way to do that. Just loot their camp in the meantime. Warm myself by the fire in this confined space where they should have limited oxygen. Also, that could ignite all kinds of gases down in the sewer. Good thing I'm immune to poison and disease. Well, not quite immune to poison. But these guys are quite wealthy to be living in a sewer, actually.
I mean, it's pretty easy to save up money when you aren't spending it on rent.
Well, there's some kind of hostile figure over there. I think it's the lowlife. He doesn't get a name, unlike everybody else in here, even though they're also all lowlifes. Oh, a trap. I have no idea. I don't get this place at all. But yeah, there's just traps all over this place. Like, why would you booby trap your sewer? Whatever. This guy here is also hostile. There's a skeever over there too, I think. Oil on the floor. There. Maybe I'll ignite that oil so I can ignite it on me. I think we'll be in this next room. Maybe I better muffle myself again.
After setting off an explosion.
Yep.
Must have been the wind.
Apparently.
What was that?
Hello, fellow. Oh, you're gonna try to kill me too, with your bear fists. Why? There's lots of bear traps in there. Let's just set those off. I guess he's trying to catch skeevers with them or something, maybe? Anyway, again, totally inexplicable. There's no reason for him to be fighting you, but he does. His damage is massive because of his unique gloves. If you're doing an unarmed character, which you should never do, but if you're doing one, he's the #1 guy you should fight, basically. Get his unique gloves.
Gloves of the Pugilist or something like that?
Pugilist, yep. She means a box. Get out of my way.
You name her Lydia?
You can't push these floaty guys for some reason. Only people who are actually feet on the ground can be pushed. So, substantial bonus there. About half as big as what Khajiit get. What they truly get, that is. They have, like, their listed bonuses and they have their secret bonuses. So. Again, no reason for these people to be fighting me, but whatever. Now, where's that lowlife? That name, by the way, it's a lie. Yeah, battering ram over there. Watch out, it doesn't kill you. But if you keep moving, it won't be a problem. Creepy battle axe stuck in this stump here. Good because everybody's been attacking me lately, so I'm kind of expecting trouble. Like another skeever or what?
Never should have come.
Yeah, so as I was saying, that name is a lie. He has very high life. He's probably the toughest guy in here. Extremely dangerous, actually. He's the only unavoidable fight down here. Well, except for the two guys at the entrance. You can avoid. So what I really mean is you can avoid Gian the Fist and that one skeever. Because there's a locked door you can get to from that pit area, basically, that will lead you more or less directly here. But Gian the Fist is the only one you don't want to skip. It's his unique item, so whatever. Right, now I can skip all this nonsense in the future by just pulling this lever to release that bridge so I can skip this place. But right under here where I'm standing, there's a door going that way with an expert lock, and you pick that and get into this area much faster. Right, so I'm up to the Ragged Flagon now, where the Thieves Guild hang out. All in one place would be really easy to arrest. Doesn't seem immediately hostile. Maybe I'll take off my mask. Put this on instead. These places fill up with stores as you do some of the Thieves Guild side quests.
Do me a favor, Dirge.
Never heard this.
Sure, Ton. You know I'm good for it.
There's a new guard nosing around the meadery. Can you do something about it?
Gladly. He won't bother you anymore. I promise.
Yeah, he's the Maul's brother. There's kind of like thugs who
Delvin, that
kind
last
of don't
shipment
quite.
we heisted on the Cyrodiil frontier was worthless.
Haven't heard this conversation before.
I distinctly heard that loud in the tavern say it was a full shipment of furs. They should be worth a fortune.
You idiot. He said furs. Furs. It was a damn logging caravan.
Oh, right.
So, if I was going to ask anybody, I'd probably ask this innkeeper here, but he's useless.
You'd better have coin to pay for your drink. Huh.
Unless you pay him a bunch of money.
Guys around. I don't really know how I can help. That's a touching story.
He's
now
a
get
jerk.
out of my face.
News. I found
Well.
that dwarven
All
animal
right.
we're looking for.
You did?
The face sculptor's over there, by the way.
I'll get you the rest of your coin by tomorrow.
But I'm just going to keep exploring this place. And he tries to stop me, you know. Well,
Price was a happy.
got a few fireballs. Well, those look like Thalmor over there. Mask.
Did they just walk on past the Thieves Guild?
Inexplicably. Nobody there comments about it. Hopefully they'll aggro to each other now. In this three-dimensional maze. This is a kind of cool area. It's not really a challenge to fight through, but it is at least, you know, interesting. They're talking about seeing the Blade Agent, but I don't think they really know where I am. Maybe they do. Nope. They're fighting each other or not? Okay, those guys are fighting each other, but that's not really a person for me. Oh, crap. Now there's no one to get the button. Now, you know what? Why don't you get down in that pit? That was funny. Wow, killed him? Nice! Yeah, three-dimensional maze type area. This is a good place to be fighting them. Narrow hallway. Can make them fight each other too. They know I'm the Blade Agent already. Guess it makes sense. Although it's not really true actually. Blades are my agents and not the other way around. Glad to have them be wrong about this.
Don't you see? Elven supremacy is the only...
Well. That worked out quite neatly. As I said, no real challenge to this place, which is appropriate. It's like a sewer with like 2 or 3 Thalmor in it. What kind of challenge could there be for the Dragonborn at this point? It makes sense for not every place to be a super level dungeon full of terrible monsters. I do think though that when they have really easy dungeons like this, they should make up for it by having more role-playing opportunities and more paths through things. Here you don't really have that. You have different ways you can find out Esbern is in the Rat Way, but it's so obvious because that's where everybody hides out. That's the one thing you hear about town is everybody hides out in the Rat Way. So like, nothing really to find out there. Disintegrating the bodies that just mix up with the sewer muck and never go back to be buried properly anywhere. Certainly wouldn't do to have these elves be buried like civilized people. This place stinks. Shelby can't wait to be out of here. Need to go find and desecrate that last body. That ignites oil down there, so that's a useless trap. Yeah. You just ignite the oil yourself, there's no reason that would ever be valuable. Again, 3-dimensional maze type area, which is cool. Would be cool if there were more things to do in it. And just vast, vast treasures lying around in this sewer full of, like, thieves.
Well, this is where they stash everything.
But they're not even friends with each other, wouldn't? Like, somebody just come through and take it all?
Yeah, but then they just come through and take it back.
Adorable mini treasure chest over here, and an enchanted weapon buried in the table. Sure, why not? Just have to make no sense. Gotta have treasure in every dungeon. If you're gonna be unusual and have like a dungeon that's not full of powerful enemies, why not have it unusual and not full of inexplicable treasure? I really would rather have, you know, like more role-playing, more paths through things. That'd be more interesting. That's the way to handle this. This is like a Thieves Guild cache full of garbage. It's also full of that bow that Dark Elf decided not to help. This is what he would send you for, basically. But I'm not going to take that for it. It's a useless old bow. Get it yourself.
Just gonna leave the gold on the table?
It's like 2 septums. Yeah. I have so much money. Nobody down here? Ah, here we are down at this level. So. Get up, get up. Now, he turns to ash, and yet his clothes are somehow still there.
Maybe they're buried under the pile.
I don't really trust any potions I find in this place. So now we get to the place where all the crazy people live, and Esbern, of course, is down there with them, because that is really not an inconspicuous place to be hanging out, with his like special unique door too. If he was smart, he'd just like have retired semi-comfortably, live like an ordinary old man somewhere in town, and not draw attention to himself, rather than being a crazy old coot down in the sewers. Living behind like 12 locked doors. So 2 hostiles in here, 1 friendly. Some interesting people down here. I'll just talk to them.
They were golden, even when they were
This
dead.
is like a veteran of the Great
Their
War,
blood
suffering
was
from
red.
probably PTSD, possibly something else too.
It's hopeless.
He has several different interesting lines. I'm hoping to get
He's
more of
right,
them from
you
him.
know.
I'm hoping to get information from where Esbern would be.
I finally understand
Seems
what
like
it
that's
all
who he's talking
means.
about.
What it was all for. The killing. And the dying. You don't think there's any hope, do you? I don't. He's right.
I think he means Esbern.
I had a medal.
There.
It
Some
had
pretty good
someone's
lines
face
there.
on it.
There's one more I'm hoping
I
to
threw
find.
it away
Like
after.
one like the fires lit up everything around.
He'll tell you. Just
Can I
ask.
get that line, please?
But need to ask. He'll tell you anyway.
And if he's talking about Esbern, that means Esbern's really making a name for himself
I
down
had
here.
a medal.
Okay, well, maybe
It had someone's face on it.
Fine.
I threw it away after.
2 other people down here. We have this beggar who's hostile for no reason.
I mean, you are breaking into his room right now.
Okay, fair enough. But she just recites the list of the items that she has on her. I believe she changes it if you pickpocket some of them from her, but I wouldn't do that. So why would I do that? Hello.
Go away, go away,
She
go
does knife. She doesn't actually attack because she's cowardly. If you calm her, then you can still can't. I'm not going to hurt you. It's just talk and maybe help with some information.
Go away, go away, go
No,
away.
no. If you rally her, she will like start knifing you. So. Another guy up here who is just a loon. Wearing a chef's hat, holding a butcher's knife or an axe.
Knife.
That's her list of inventory.
Come here, come here, come here, come here.
No.
Hello?
Ah, so tender. Come here, you juicy morsel. Huh?
Yeah, he's gonna chop you up and eat you. You can calm him too, of course. I don't really expect you to do that, but you can. He doesn't really have any other lines, just like...
Ah, so tender. Come here, you juicy morsel.
He doesn't attack again, he just says creepy stuff. Well, why don't I stun you and then lock you in this cage with Natural Knock? Oh. What? That's cheating.
Death is
Doubly creepy, apparently. Walk
Yeah.
through doors.
Well, that was weird. Never seen that before. I think this might be because the Grizzly Gourmet card is based on it. But don't really know.
The Grizzly Gourmet isn't based on the gourmet.
I don't think so, because he's not grizzly, he doesn't kill people and chop them up into food.
Sense.
It could just be based on nothing particular.
Well, it would make sense for him, this character, to be basically going like this.
So, here is Esbern's distinctive door.
Go away!
With his distinctive, unique voice actor. It's pretty good, actually.
What? No, that's not me.
I can see your name, Esbern.
I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, how reassuring. Most likely you're with the Thalmor. This is just a trick to get me to open the door.
That doesn't make any sense. Also, you admitted that the Thalmor are after you.
And no doubt you are one of them, huh? Leave me alone.
Now, the 30th of Frost thing makes no sense because the Thalmor would also talk about that, because...
I told you to go away. I'm not opening this door for anybody.
Like, the Thalmor started the war on that day, so they would certainly know about it.
Guess it's all clear now.
What's that you said?
Different dialogue, officer, but they all related to the same thing, ultimately.
Then there really is hope, after all. You'd better come inside. Quickly now.
Thalmor agents have been seen in the Ratway.
Yeah?
This... Just take a moment.
No, never.
This one always...
I don't mind these guys seeing me with my mask, by the way, because they're all nuts, and, like... I killed everybody else who saw me. And Esbern I'm okay with knowing, because I'm okay with the Blades in general knowing my secret identity. Because they're sworn to serve me and only me. I mean, it would just be ridiculous for them to abandon the Dragonborn after waiting centuries to find one, when that's like the entire point of their organization and everything they've sworn to do. There's no way they just abandon you over something silly and spurious. That would just be ridiculous.
Is it really true?
He really just bought, like, a rumor, more or less.
Important.
He seems kind of dumb to have survived this long.
If you are Dragonborn, then...
I do kind of like the character.
There is hope.
Especially, I like kind of him and Delphine together.
So
they're fun.
long, all I could do was watch our doom approach, helplessly.
So this is like supposed to be a dramatic moment in character, but it really isn't one out of character. Like, even at the time the game came out, everybody already knew Alduin was behind everything because, if nothing else, the load screams kept beating us over the head with that fact. I think that was kind of a poor decision. It's better for the story to have some twists and turns.
Of the end of days. Haven't you figured it out yet? What more needs to happen before you all wake up and see what's going on? Alduin has returned, just like the prophecy said.
Dun dun dun.
The
Plot twist, except we've been seeing all these prophecies about Alduin, and his name is real if you ever throw a spell at him or anything like that, so... We should have avoided those spoilers.
Alduin will devour all things, and the world will end. Nothing can stop him. Yes, yes. You see, you know, but you refuse to understand. You're right, I forget myself. I've lived without hope for so long. The prophecies are clear. Only the
I always hate prophecies as like a plot and story device. They're so boring.
Quickly now.
And everything creative and cool with them was done 2,500 years ago by the Greeks, so like there's no twists left.
Just a moment, I must...
He hasn't actually taken any of the useful stuff around here for some reason. This is, I think, a one-handed skill book, if I remember correctly. It's about the Morag Tong versus the Dark Brotherhood and their rivalry of random murderer people. He won't take this useful random enchanted dagger. He won't take useful books about the dragons. He won't take things from his chest. Oh, that's pretty useless. Okay. Potions he won't take.
I guess that's good enough.
Other potions he won't take. Really, I don't know what he's going for here. But I'm pretty keen on not leaving secrets to the Thalmor, unlike him, so... Why do you have a skull here, Esbern? Everybody has skulls. They just kind of didn't have that many decoration items, so they threw skulls on everywhere. Alright, let's just torch this place before we get out of here. Nothing left for the Thalmor. Yeah, I think she changes her list if you pickpocket things away from her. Oh. Thalmor are out there, apparently. Somehow. And they're attacking Salvianus. I've got to save this poor old veteran who's been fighting with Thalmor all day. That's a powerful spell right there I got blasted with. I think it's Chain Lightning, so it'll bounce. You gotta make sure this Salvianus character lives. Why is he taking my Atronach? No!
Is that yours or is that the Thalmor's?
Is that someone? Salvianus, stop, we're friends! Kind of talked to you once. Don't I kill you? There. Yikes, powerful spell. Are we fighting him again? I hope not. Astronaut, tank this guy. Like you're supposed to. Now, Esbern has some unique... oh, it's a Storm Astronaut. That is serious business. Esbern, why don't we retire back to your chambers for a little bit here and wait for the Storm Astronaut to wear off. Can't let Salvianus die.
Does he come up again, or do you just like him?
I just like him. He has no actual importance. Salvianus is almost dead. Okay. Potions of magic. Restoration. Oh, these are things hit me hard. I'm gonna have to spend a level up here just to save this guy. Okay, if I take the useful illusion perk to make someone spells and mysteriously shouts, be silent. Storm Astronauts are so powerful.
7-5
Is he on his last legs again? I hope not. If he gets in there, he's blown up. My area spell like those things have. Hopefully, the Atronach is gone. Great, we can kill this guy now. Powerful wizard. Kind of the boss of this whole thing. But really not that strong in the scheme of things. It's only hard because I have to save that poor old veteran. It's all for nothing. He does want to have one other line about how, like, you know, their fires lit up the night all around Lake Lumare, referring to the Battle of the Red Ring. Don't kill this. No!
Now you're gonna kill the deaf lady?
Esbern, you're psycho! We're not killing her! You really are crazy. You're in the right place. Butcher persons.
Was the door protecting himself or the other people?
Wow, I tried to save Salvianus. I bet it was Esbern who killed him.
Probably.
I'll leave a few elf corpses undisintegrated down here just to leave evidence that I've been killing all the Thalmor for the townspeople to find eventually. Do want word to get around, even more than want to destroy the bodies and make them suffer.
Please don't kill me.
We're not going to. We're gonna leave now. You hear me, Esbern? Do I have Morokai on? Yes, I do. Good.
Now, before you got in the Quiet Castle perk, had you been sneaking up on her and made some kind of spell that makes a sound? Which you've heard it.
Yes, she's not actually deaf.
Okay.
They're completely lying about that. So, no enemies, it's kind of a pointless walk back out of here. I think I'll take off the mask before I get to the Thieves Guild people. There's Esbern following along. He's nothing useful to say, he just wants you to get to Delphine and then he'll talk. Long, empty place to walk back through. Shortcut would have been nice. Most engines have one. But here we are back at the beginning. So,
what kind of shortcut would be in a sewer, though?
You make a good point. But, I mean, most of the dungeons shouldn't really have them either. They just mysteriously do. Alright, back to the Ragged Flagon. Nothing to see here. Where'd everybody go? Usually they're still hanging out here. Weird.
Don't look a gift horse in mouth?
Yep. That's still the face sculptor over there. She won't work on vampires, though. And she somehow knows that you are one. Which makes sense, actually. It's mysterious that nobody else does know.
Why won't she work on vampires?
I think out of character because vampires have their faces changed by a certain algorithm. They could mess that up. I think in character, she just says that her techniques don't work on the living, whatever her techniques are. She takes you back to basically the character creation menu for changing your appearance up, and not your race or anything like that. So, you know, useful thing added in Dawnguard. A worthless card in Legends. Well, here we are. Back in the rest of this stinking town.
I've been looking for you.
What?
There's something I'm supposed to deliver.
She's gonna slide it through the channels there.
Let's see here. There's a new museum opening up in Dawnstar. The owner is
so new Daedric quest I won't be doing it. Gives you a terrible, stupid luck-based item.
That's it.
I hate luck-based items.
Which one was it?
Mehrunes Razor. There's a percent chance it isn't killing anything.
Right, right.
So the most boring possible thing. Trivializes all fights, but only if you're lucky. I'm going to go look for the Talos Shrine while I'm here. There is one somewhere around. I think it's in this region. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Replenish my Talos Blessing. So, and then we can skip town. I am tired and thirsty for blood, but I can't drink blood with Esbern around. Well, I mean, I can, but I shouldn't. It makes no sense that I can. A red person over there. And also, of course, I'll get hungrier and hungrier the longer I'm with him, so I better get this journey over with fast and maybe find some excuse. So the guards do nothing at all. She says you'll pay for meddling with Thalmor's affairs, so she's clearly a Thalmor spy, as we kind of could have guessed. Let's interrogate her for some useful information. Spoiler alert, she had no useful information. She's not really a character, she's not any kind of interesting thing. Stop it! I'm trying to talk to this person. I guess that line kind of makes sense now. That she's trying to like, not kill you. But yeah, nothing useful. She's like the worst spy in history. She's like, just like conspicuous and like pff, go away and doesn't attack you. Her whole job is to kill you, but she doesn't do a thing about you. Right now, it's too late. Right. I'll take her dagger and her note. Nobody's over there, right? I nearly killed myself with some kind of random object there. Let me dump this corpse in the sewer down there.
Oh, there's a guard.
It's okay.
Staring at you.
They don't mind. They drop down here. Where did the body go? I want to turn it to dust, too. Not around here?
Must be in the water.
Yeah.
I don't know if detective
oh, there she
can
is.
work on a corpse.
Nope. Alright, so they'll never find anything to bury. Now this would be great if this is the point in the game at which the Thalmor started hunting you down ever, because it feels like it will happen. They're just attacking the city streets. But no, this is the point where they stop ever doing a thing to you. You never hear from them again. It's pretty stupid. Let me just like... where's it go? You saw this. Here. Here's a note explaining everything. Let me just read it first. I have good reason to believe the target will come into Riften in the next few days. Discretion is preferred, but elimination of the target is the highest priority. The usual restrictions on exposure are lifted. You will be reassigned outside Skyrim if necessary, without penalty. Do not fail. Clearly, Elenwyn. Alright, well... Here is the note about why they tried to murder me, why it was justified for me to kill them instead. And here's, like, they're all Thalmor, this is Stormcloak Town. Oh, oops. Dropped a silver necklace there, I think. Oh, well.
It'll be on the ground.
Look how many Thalmor I've been killing. So many Thalmor. Will it be on the ground, or is it down in the river? Well, just a silver necklace. Not really worth the time and trouble to find where it went and retrieve it. Even if it's just lying there and I'm overlooking it. Alright, so, that's that adventure done with. Now we need to make it back to Delphine with this guy, who will make no attempt to conceal himself along the way. But luckily the Thalmor stopped hunting for us, even though now's the time when they most should be. Alright, have a great day, everyone.
Have a great day.